Welcome, Pewter Report readers, viewers, and listeners to a brand new edition of the Pewter Report podcast, brought to you by our friends over at Briar-Greaves Insurance. Protecting your assets starts with a company that you can count on. So whether it's auto, homeowners, flood, boaters, or business insurance, there's nobody better in the business to work with than the great people over at Briar-Greaves Insurance. For more information about them, visit their website, briargreavesinsurance.com, or give them a call at 813-876-4166. That's 813-876-4166. It is a Pewter post-game show, and we are talking about yet another Tampa Bay Buccaneers victory and another crazy, wild, and chaotic game for the Cardiac Bucs, because that's all we know with this team. Tampa Bay defeated the Seattle Seahawks in a great, thrilling, exciting game, 38-35 on a game-winning field goal at expiration by Chase Money McLaughlin. It was a tremendous performance by Baker Mayfield, an exceptional performance by Emeka Egbuka. And while the defense certainly had their issues, the future Bucs Ring of Honor member Lavonte David has a clutch interception at the end when the game was tied to set Tampa Bay up for that game-winning Chase McLaughlin field goal. So let's get into all of it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Matt Matera. Joined with me is the face that runs the place at PewterReport.com, SR, Scott Reynolds. Scott, my heart is still beating a million miles per second. The adrenaline has not worn off just yet. Holy crow. This team, all they know how to play is chaotic games, and I'm going to learn to accept it. But what a win for the Bucs today.
It is. I mean, these Buccaneers, it's crazy. Again, hey, I'm glad to be wrong. But as we saw in this game, it was razor thin. I mean, if not for that interception, holy smokes, man, the way Sam Darnold was playing, this team could have gone down and kicked a field goal and won that thing. So hats off to Lavonte David for finally coming up with an interception this year. Wrote about it on Friday. This team had to be the ball Hawkeneers to win in Seattle, and they were. And not only did Tampa Bay come away with two big takeaways on defense, not just Lavonte David's clutch interception on that final Seahawks drive, but also Tik Smith coming up with a fantastic fumble recovery, his first of his career. And, you know, the Seahawks got a little too cute, right? They ran Jalen Milroe out there, the quarterback, only his third snap of the year. He had the errant pitch to Kenneth Walker that was fumbled. Tik Smith was Johnny on the spot, had his first big-time fumble recovery. Tampa Bay wins the turnover margin 2-0. Matt, we said they had to do a couple things in this game. They had to either win the first quarter or be even. They survived the first quarter. They were up 3-0. They also had to win the turnover margin. They did. 2-0, could have been 3-0 if not for Zion McCollum's pass interference call or defensive holding, whichever it was, that negated an Antoine Winfield Jr. interception. But mission accomplished. The Buccaneers did what they had to do to get this win. We all had this as a close game, but nobody had this at 38-35. A lot of people had it as a 3-point win, one way or the other on the Pewter Report staff. Nothing this crazy. I mean, defense was a little hard to watch this game. Both Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield only had 4 non-completions in this game. 4. And Sam Darnold had 3 incompletions and 1 interception. I mean, just a masterful performance by both quarterbacks. 4 touchdowns for Darnold, 2 touchdowns for Baker Mayfield, who again brings the Buccaneers back to win this game. Just a tremendous effort by Todd Bowles and this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team.
It's going to be a little recency bias for sure, and I'd probably have to sit back and kind of recount some of his other games with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But this is one of the greatest games that Baker has played in a Bucs uniform. I mean, his passer rating was 134.7. Sam Darnold's was 135.4. But of course, with Baker, you'd rather have the victory, which is ultimately what matters the most. It's so interesting. I'm not comparing this to like Tom Brady against Peyton Manning or anything like that, but this was as much of a quarterback shootout and duel as it was with, some of the great quarterbacks in the league. And, Baker's kind of getting into that category, certainly helped his MVP case today. And Darnold had his career resurgence. These two guys from the same exact draft class. I mean, just going throw after throw
Yeah.
after throw. I mean, if you're a Bucs fan, you're going crazy for Baker, and then the Bucs defense is driving you crazy.
Yeah.
At the same time, with their inability to get stops, especially in the second half, because it was looking good early on. Like the missed
Yeah.
field goal certainly by Seattle helped, but the Bucs didn't allow any points
I
until
know.
the final drive of the
I
second
know.
quarter, and then the wheels truly came off the wagon in the second half. But ultimately, as you mentioned, turnovers were the
Yeah.
big deciders in this. The too cute play, the fumble recovery by
Yep.
Tyke Smith that ends in a touchdown for Tampa Bay, and then the interception ends in the game-winning field goal for the
Yep.
Bucs. They benefited greatly. And I thought early in that game, it was very much, how we always talk about how only the Bucs can beat the Bucs and they get in their own way.
Yeah.
To me, that's what Seattle was doing.
That's
The
right.
missed kick, some bad penalties on that
Yeah.
side, and that's why I was so happy with for the Bucs on offense today. They really didn't have too many penalties at all on the offensive side. They played a very clean game and hands down their best offensive performance of the
38
season
points.
with 38 points.
Josh
So kudos
Grizzard
to
in that
Josh
offense.
Grizzard.
Yeah.
There was people, I'm not going to single-handedly call them out, but there was people on the Pewter Game Day show, and we appreciate every single person that watches. But some folks were like, fire Josh Grizzard. You got to get rid of Josh Grizzard after they went up 6-0, and then they punted and went 3 and out. They had 2 punts in the game, and I don't know about you, Scott, but I think the great equalizer to not worrying about getting punts blocked is just keep getting into scoring range so you don't have to punt it. And that game plan worked very well for the Bucs today. But what a performance by Baker Mayfield. Emeka Egbuka, I mean, when should we make plans for Canton, Ohio now for, when he eventually gets inducted in? Because he had a sensational game. Tez Johnson had a breakout game. Cade Otton had a breakout game as well. Just such an electric offensive performance by the Bucs. With a Seattle team that had 10 days to prepare.
That's right.
And had only allowed 20 points was the highest mark that a team had scored against them in the first 2 games. Or first 4 games, excuse me. And the Bucs blow that out of the water with 38 points today.
Yeah, it was crazy. I want to keep this comment up here just because we have to get to it. John B., one of our Pewter Report TV channel members, thank you, John B., says, when Mike gets back, defenses are going to be in a blender with this group of wide receivers. I mean, it's just like, Chris Godwin didn't have that kind of bounce back game we all kind of hoping for and waiting for per se, but he did come up with a couple of good catches today.
Third down was big for Chris Godwin Jr., not to cut you off, but I think that's what we're seeing, little shades of like the vintage Chris Godwin, and big third down plays has always been a staple of Chris Godwin Jr. So yes, didn't have a huge impact, but was big on third downs.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get to super chats here in a second. Yeah, it was a just crazy day for Emeka Egbuka. What a homecoming game. And I've seen players come to these homecoming games and either one of two things happens. They either show up and show out, or they get like a little overwhelmed by the moment. We kind of saw that with Tom Brady going back to New England on that Sunday night game against the Patriots. Didn't play well.
It
overwhelmed him a little bit. But that was not the case for Emeka Egbuka today, who caught everything: touchdowns, 2-point conversions, deep passes, short passes. I mean,
he had an octopus.
Yeah, he just was doing it all today. And I mean, this guy, I've said it before. I think you agree with what I'm saying, Matt. As good as Mike Evans is, he was not this good as a rookie. As good as Chris Godwin is, he was not this good as a rookie. This is the best rookie season so far that I've ever seen from any Bucs wide receiver, and that includes the top 2 wide receivers in franchise history, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And I think if you ask both of them, they'll tell you, theyey'll be honest with you. They'll say, hey, we weren't this good this early. It took us a while. But just hats off to Jason Light and Todd Bowles for drafting this guy, having the wherewithal, the foresight to say, hey, we could use another pass rusher. Hey, we could use some more cornerbacks. We need these things. The draft, it's 7 rounds long. We got to get the best player on the board, and it's this guy. And man, has he been an absolute lifesaver for this team.
Yeah.
He has been phenomenal and crazy good to watch. So much fun.
It's paid off in such dividends, and he was supposed to be the future of this team, but he is also the present right now. And we're seeing a glimpse of what it may look like eventually in the future as well, with Chris Godwin under contract, Chris Godwin Jr. under contract for 3 more years. eventually you're going to get an older, aging Chris Godwin Jr., which is what we're kind of seeing with Mike Evans a little bit right now, while still highly effective.
Yeah.
But we know that the next guy is up with Emeka Egbuka, and he was just sensational.
Matt, 7 catches on 7 targets, 163 yards. He averaged 23.3 yards per catch, man. This is nuts. Another touchdown.
And almost had 2 touchdowns, because the other one, the big play, his biggest catch of the game, I believe it went for 57 yards. Got tackled at the 1 yard line. 1 or 2 yard line. But either way, big playability has been in droves. Also, another thing, the touchdown he had, and the Bucs had this a couple of times in the game.
Yeah.
When you get to 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15, you don't want to be in that situation. But the Bucs were great in those situations. Egbuka had the touchdown. I believe it was 3rd and 14 or 3rd and 15.
Yeah.
They ran a screen to Cade Otton on a 3rd and 15 that he made a guy miss, jumped over a defender, and was able to get a first down. You don't want to be in those situations, but the Bucs somehow this afternoon thrived in 3rd and very long, which you don't want to be in. And as HB Livin is saying, Tez Johnson reminds me of Deshaun Jackson. Big playmaker for us coming up. This was the best game, again, early on in his career, but the best game for Tez Johnson. Maybe a little familiarity playing at Washington. He was an Oregon Duck, so he's played on that field before. But maybe playing out west brought out the best in Tez Johnson, because
4 catches.
Making people miss. Looked very comfortable out there.
4 catches, 4 targets, 59 yards. 14.8 yard average. I mean, just a great game. You're talking about the future. He's part of the future too, Matt. At some point in time, Chris and Mike aren't going to be here, but you're going to have Emeka Egbuka. You're going to have Tez Johnson. That's going to be part of this receiving core going forward. It's crazy to see. As John Hull says, best, smartest draft pick. Light is a beast. Yeah. I mean, he's on an absolute heater, man, when it comes to the draft. It's just crazy. What can we say about Baker Mayfield too? I will say this. I wasn't really able to kind of reveal a whole bunch for our Pewter insiders about some of my conversations with Liam Cohen. I was texting with Liam today. He's got the Jacksonville Jaguars big game tomorrow night against the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Former Bucs offensive coordinator. He texts me at the last couple of minutes of the game, and he says, Baker MVP, Wow. And he's just so happy for Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers. I'm not going to go into all of our texts and stuff, but I will share that with you. I mean, he is rooting hard for the Buccaneers. I mean, just telling you right now. I know Liam Cohen is still the villain in some of you minds of you Bucs fans. You got to let it go. He's in the AFC with Jacksonville now doing his own thing. Look at Josh Grizzard today, 38 points for this guy in his 5th game. And boy, the defense needed every single point from this offense. They had to trade touchdown for touchdown to stay even or get ahead of Seattle. And, I think Liam Cohen's a big Todd Bowles, Josh Grizzard, Baker Mayfield Buccaneers fan. And it's just cool to see the respect that he has for Baker Mayfield, because he kind of set the table for this, I mean, it's crazy, but if Baker is not, if he's not, if he's not 1 or 2 on your MVP card right now, you're doing it wrong. I mean, he is just having a sensational start to the season. And again, bouncing back from a costly interception, right? Where he only threw 1 interception, but it was a big one last week, and had to play perfect today, and did, and started off 6 for 6. They were hot out of the gate and stayed hot the whole game.
It did not slow down.
No.
There was not one lull in the game by Baker Mayfield. Sometimes you're just in the zone. And Baker, playing at Oklahoma has been in a lot of shootouts in his career. Oklahoma historically, especially when Baker was there, did not have the tightest of defenses. So he was in a lot of those shootouts. Obviously, everyone remembers that crazy game he had against Patrick Mahomes at Texas A&M. So Baker probably felt right at home with, the defense not being able to hold up their end of the bargain. But he was just feeling it. I mean, 2 punts in the whole game. The first punt as well, it was, they were backed up in their own end zone. I don't necessarily blame them for that. But every time they got the ball, it's like, all right, they're going to score. Credit to the offensive line. I know it wasn't the best running game overall.
Yeah.
They were helpful at the goal line, certainly. Rachaad White punching in 2 touchdowns. But I thought they did a tremendous job protecting Baker Mayfield today.
Yeah.
Charlie Heck got smoked on that one on the one sack that they took down Baker. But besides that, Baker had time to throw. Guys were getting open. Guys were getting open down the field as well. People weren't people were complaining about that early on in the game, that they're not taking shots. And then when Baker had to run, he did. There's a big game tonight Bucs fans should be paying attention to because they play both of these teams later on in the season with the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
You got to be rooting for the Patriots. If you want Baker to win MVP, I think
right.
probably the top guy challenging Baker for MVP is Josh Allen. So you probably want to be rooting for the Patriots in that game and for
Agreed.
Josh.
Yep, I'm with you. Matt, we have a slew of
He's
super
certainly
chats.
Playing at MVP level.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We have a slew of super chats. We need to get to them.
Yes.
So we're going to do that right now. Thank you all so much for these super chats.
Appreciate everyone.
Yeah.
I hope everyone's fired up because this was an awesome win.
It was fantastic.
A lot of good, some bad, and we'll address the bad today and throughout the week as well. But we'll start with Mike Post. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Says Emeka Egbuka Hall of Fame induction tomorrow. I mean, he's got to be the front runner. We were just talking about Baker MVP. Yeah. He's got to be the front runner for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, it's not even close. It's not even close at this point.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart maybe would be a threat because quarterback position, New York, but they just lost to the Saints today.
Yeah, right.
So
here's the crazy stat. And listen, I don't anticipate him keeping up this pace, but I'm not going to rule it out either. I'm not going to say he can't do it, right? But we're at a touchdown a game now for Emeka Egbuka, right? The all-time franchise record for rookie receiving touchdowns is 12. It was Mike Evans' rookie season in 2014. 12 touchdowns. I think that's doable. I think that's in play.
Yeah.
Mike Evans also has the single season record for most touchdown catches in a season. That's 14. I want to say it was set in 2021, I believe. That's also in play.
Yeah, very much in play.
I'm just saying, this is crazy what we're seeing right here. And when Mike gets back, I mean, it's like one of these guys is going to be way open, like a lot.
Yeah.
And we're talking a lot. And then if those guys end up getting somehow double covered, you're going to have open running lanes. You're going to have Chris Godwin open. It's going to be sick. So it's going to be fun if you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan, for sure, when Mike Evans gets back.
And I think today, too, the Bucs proved that they can also win by having receivers by committee. Because Egbuka did his thing, no doubt about it. But for a first portion of that game, you know, we mentioned Tez Johnson having a pretty good game.
Sterling Shepard had a touchdown.
Yeah, Sterling Shepard had a touchdown. The only guy that had a rough outing receiving-wise was running back Sean Tucker, who had 3 catches for -4 yards. Not entirely his fault.
Killed my prop bet. But
but they can get it done by committee as well, which is very important.
For sure.
Callie Bucks has now been a Pewter Report YouTube channel member for 13 months. Thank you for your support. Says Baker and Emeka. By the way, somebody in the comments during the Peter Game Day show was saying bacon and eggs.
Yeah.
And it was like Baker and Emeka Egbuka. I love that name as well. But yeah, they did play out of their minds today. An awesome homecoming for Emeka Egbuka. So very happy for him. JD Foster, thank you for the 279 super chat. Says, burn the creamsicles. Keep these 76 jerseys so clean. They are very clean, and they're undefeated. 2-0 in them this season. So
what if the Buccaneers get the trifecta? What if they beat the Falcons on Thursday Night Football back in week 15? We had a couple months to go for that game. But what if that happens? What if the Buccaneers go 3-0 in their throwback uniforms? That would be something. In their 50th season.
Yeah, it would shut a lot of people up. I'll tell you that.
Yep.
Kyle Miller, thanks for the $4.99 super chat. Says, I'm directing my health insurance provider to One Buck Place because this team gives me hypertension. Yeah, I need to schedule a doctor's appointment as well. This team, they're the cardiac Bucks. All they know how to do is be chaotic. And we're just going to have to learn to accept it. Like, this is going to be the case every single week. Wacky stuff's going to happen, and it's going to come down to the end.
I have taken more Lisinopril, which is my high blood pressure medicine, since the start of football season than I have all year. So I'm with you, Bucs fans.
Matt Clark has now become a Pewter Report YouTube channel member.
Appreciate that
so much for signing up. Welcome to the team. We're very grateful to have you.
Yeah.
The real Maverick. Thank you for this $10 super chat. Says, what a game. 2-0 in the White Threads. Positives. Baker Mayfield, Emeka Egbuka, O-line, Sterling Shepard, probably Tez Johnson. Huge day.
Yeah.
Grizz is proving to be up to the task of play calling. Don't tell other teams.
Yeah.
Levante David clutch at the end, despite poor tackling, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I was actually like texting with a friend. I'm like this 35-year-old version of Lavonte David is not great, right? I
Yeah.
mean, and I've seen this before with Derek Brooks. I mean, at some point in time, your legends fade away. They just do. And we're seeing that now with Lavonte David. But every once in a while, they can still come up with that clutch moment. And for Levante to come up with that clutch moment, because I didn't think he had a great game. He missed a lot of tackles and all that. And we've seen that this year. His missed tackle rate is as high as it's ever been. I want to say Josh Capo told me it was like 29%, which is awful heading into this game. And that's the sign when you're slipping. When those tackles slip out of your hands, that's a sign. But that ball doesn't slip out of his hands like it did earlier this season. It came up huge with this interception. So we'll forgive those missed tackles when you come up with a game-winning interception like it was. So Lavonte David still has it for at least that play, and it was great to see.
He can show up in moments, and AJ Barner is a gigantic, enormous human being. Like, I don't blame Lavonte. That's tough to tackle. But yeah, clutch play at the end, and I'm on the game day show. I'm like, for the love of God, like, send some pressure, blitz, and they finally blitzed Antoine Winfield Jr. after not really doing so too much throughout the whole game, and finally blitzing generated the pressure to speed up Sam Darnold, and it led to the turnover. There was a lot of bad with the Bucs defense. There's no way of sugarcoating it, but they were opportunistic when they needed to be, and ultimately was the game winner. Shout out to Heart of a Lion Cigar Company. It says box of cigars coming to you, Matt. Yeah. Hey, I would love that. I'm a big cigar guy. I would love to. Try
I'm getting into cigars. If you want to send some to me too, I'll smoke.
There you go. Yeah, DM me on the side. I'll send you my address. But thank you. Real Maverick, thanks for this $10 super chat. Says ugly secondary. However, that was a terrible holding call on the first interception. Special teams, kickoff coverage. They came on the final kickoff after the tie and a good down punt, but terrible rest of the game. Scott, again, on the game day show, I'm like, okay, early weeks, it was Chase McLaughlin missing kicks. Then
it's
you
like
have the
whack-a-mole, right?
Now they can't cover on kickoffs. How many times did the Seahawks begin their drive essentially at midfield, looking at that throwback helmet? It was time and time and time. Again, when the secondary was awful today, there's no adjustments. I don't care that Jamel Dean and Benjamin Morrison weren't playing. Guys were wide open. One of Barner's touchdowns, feel like he had 1,000 touchdowns. But one there was wide open. Why is Hassan Reddick in coverage on 3rd and goal? Isn't his job to get after the quarterback? Why is he in coverage? And he's just pointing. He's like, oh, yeah, look at that guy. Look at him open. And, like, who knows? It may have been Levante's fault on the play. But I was having near flashbacks to the Texans game a couple of years ago. Not 2 weeks ago. But and then even, like, Kirk Cousins, 500 yards passing, Thursday Night Football, the Kansas City game. So in my head, I'm like, oh, the Bucs scored too early. Seahawks are going to kick the game-winning field goal. They're never going to get a chance to get the ball back once again. But they prevailed in the end.
I'll tell you where my twisted mind was going. I am so shell-shocked by this awful special teams unit. And listen, hats off to Riley Dixon for having the wherewithal to say, we only have 10 guys. We need one more guy to please block for me. So I'm get another punt blocked. Okay. So there's that. So, good on you, Riley, for counting to 10 and saying, wait a minute, we need 11. We're actually missing a guy. So Sean Tucker comes out and he gets ready and then punts the ball down to the 1 yard line. Josh Hayes does what he does best. Gunner and special teams, downs it at the 1 yard line. Now, of course, the Seahawks drive 99 yards for a touchdown, but at least that was a good component of special teams. But I'm sitting here in the Pewter Report group chat, and this is how sick I am. I was like, just wait. The Bucs are going to get the field goal and then kick the ball off to Seattle. This is if they didn't get the first down, which they did with Rachaad White's run. But if they had to kick the field goal there, and there's still time left, I could see Seattle returning the kickoff for a touchdown to win the damn game. Right. I am just so over special teams this year, unless it's Chase McLaughlin hitting field goals from any range. So I'm scarred. I'm sorry. It's early in the season, but
hey, I don't blame you. Next week, it's, I don't know. I don't even want to say it out loud because something bad might happen. But next week is going to be something else. And shout out to Chase McLaughlin, battled through the stomach bug. And I mean, he wasn't just, granted, they weren't the longest of field goals, but he was nailing every field goal right down the middle. There wasn't even a half a second where you're like, nope, it was good every single time. He's 813. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Says finding ways to win has been the story of the season for these 2025 Bucs. I love that outlook, and you're
Yep.
absolutely right. Yeah, there are some negative, but let's
Yep.
focus on the positives.
Yep.
Virgin Boys, thanks for the $4.99 super chat. Says Scott and Matt, what is going on with Yaya and Reddick? Is it too many dropbacks, or are they just not good pass rushers? Also, we need Dean and Morrison.
I don't know. I really like Yaya Diaby. Great guy, friend of the program. I think he's got the tools to be good. It's just, my gosh, man, at some point in time, you've got to rise up and be that guy. Like, you have got to just say, I don't want to be just a guy, a jag. I want to be an absolute force on this defense. And he had 2 golden opportunities, had a pick 6 literally at the goal line, drop out of his hands, actually tip off his hands and get caught by Cooper Kupp, who is just a thorn in the Bucs side. I can't wait for this guy to retire.
Yeah.
Holy crap, man, leave the game. Like, you have inflicted too much damage on the Bucs fan base. But thankfully, he didn't have the last laugh today. But then on the 4th down, right? Yaya runs right by Sam Darnold, literally has a hand on him. Hassan Reddick is down there by Darnold's feet, can't wrap up his legs, and then Sam Darnold throws a pass for, it was a first down, touchdown. I forget all these Sam Darnold completions.
I think it was 4th down.
4th down, yeah. They converted and they kept the drive alive, yeah. But I'm just like, at some point in time, and you got to rise up and be that guy.
Yeah.
If you want to be that guy, you got to make the plays to be that guy. And we just haven't seen that. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. I hope that Yaya can get there and be that guy. And I hope that Hassan Reddick still has enough left in the tank. But very underwhelming performance today from both of those guys. I don't give a crap what the pressure rate was and all that stuff. They didn't make plays. They didn't get the quarterback on the ground. They didn't affect the passer in a way that it caused stops on defense. It got points for the Buccaneers on the scoreboard. It just wasn't enough. And it's a little scary because these 2 guys are what they're counting on. Because my God, man, after that, you've got Anthony Nelson and Chris Braswell. If these 2 guys can't get it done, I mean, there's nobody on this team that's going to be able to rush the edge and get it done. It's not good enough. It's just not.
It isn't. Braswell actually made a play on special teams, so shout out to him for doing something. But yeah, I mean, I think even today, and we'll have to look at the actual ratios and everything like that. But the Bucs, it felt like they definitely did not blitz as much as they typically do. So it was like, all right, it's on you, 4-man pass rush. And Vita Vea can't do everything. I mean, you would love for him to do everything, but that's not fair to ask him to do everything. They had no sacks. They barely got to Sam Darnold. There was maybe 1 pass rush, maybe 2 pass rushes. One was by Logan Hall that had actually affected Sam Darnold up until that last blitz by Antoine Winfield Jr. But when you're not blitzing that much, it's on the edge rushers. That's why Hassan Reddick was brought in here.
Yeah.
Yaya Diaby, he's just not a killer. It's essentially what it comes down to. He had Sam Darnold right there, 4th down, big momentum play, and he doesn't get the job done. My patience is wearing very thin with the edge rushers.
I agree.
Very, very thin.
Me too.
Two Woods, Cinco Ocho. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Says, I'm sure y'all will cover it, but what a game by Josh Grizzard.
Oh, man, yeah.
Best game as an offensive coordinator through his first 5 games. Play action was on point today. They probably, again, we'll look at the numbers, but it looked like they were running play action a lot more than they typically have. Even though the ground game wasn't spectacular, and you got to tip your cap to Seattle. They are one of the best run-stopping defenses in the league, and you didn't have Bucky Irving. They still, again, found a way to win running the ball late. A high IQ play by Rachaad White, not going out of bounds after getting that first down. And, I mean, Baker had his way throwing the football. He did anything that he really wanted to. So, shout out Josh Grizzard. To me, play action was key in this game.
It was. There's no doubt about it.
Trustin Vorbeck with a $49.99 super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Says,
oh, my God.
Matty Diamonds made a UFC parlay and smacked him. Piper, Zalal, Jiri, Marab, and Pereira by knockout. Won $5,700. That is awesome. Trust me,
that's fantastic.
I need you to DM me because I watched all the UFC pay-per-view last night. It was awesome. My bets on the UFC specifically and in general with the UFC are terrible. I'm not good at UFC betting, but I do it anyway.
You can help Matty Diamonds with
I need you
UFC
to help me with UFC picks. Congrats on 5,700. That's an awesome parlay. Very happy for you. He says, here's my donation. My Bucs parlay today missed on Godwin, had him 4 catches and 40 yards. Anyway, What a tense and exciting game.
Wow.
Go Bucs, go Pewter Report.
That's awesome.
It was intense. It was exciting. Wasn't the breakout game for Chris Godwin Jr. like I predicted, but regardless, Bucs were able to get it done. And if Emeka Egbuka is going to get over 160 yards every single game, the Bucs will be fine regardless of what happens with Chris Godwin Jr.
Yeah.
There was a moment where I'm like, damn, they get into overtime. Emeka Egbuka might have 200 receiving yards. But yeah, what a game.
Yeah,
Jake Van Soest, thank you for the $4.99 super chat, says this game was reminiscent of the Texans game 2 years ago, except for the fact we came out on top. Good teams find ways to win. Go Bucs.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And, the great thing, too, about finding a way to win is we have another Victory Monday on tap tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So make sure you are tuned in to Pewter Report TV, our YouTube channel, for that show. It will be a fun one. It always is. We do roll call at 4:20 on Mondays. That's always fun. So it's even more fun when it is a Victory Monday. But you know what's even more fun than a Victory Monday on Pewter Report TV is happy hour at Walk-Ons. That's right. From 3 p.m. to close, it's happy hour. You can eat like a winner, drink like a champ. $3.99 domestic pints. People, with inflation and food costs and stuff these days, that's a steal. You got to get into Walk-Ons and get some of these great deals. $5 gets you to premium house pours or happy hour wines. $5.49 the 22-ounce domestic drafts. $4 for the hush puppies or onion rings. $7 for the boom boom shrimp and half order of the waffle cheese fries or the spinach and artichoke dip, which Ashley and I absolutely love. It's fantastic. $8 for the boneless wings or the cheeseburger sliders. You can make a meal out of those. Eat like a winner, drink like a champ. And maybe you want to have a celebratory shot. Well, you can do that with some winning shots that never miss. The lemon drop, the tropical Vegas bomb, the Washington apple, the Mexican candy, green tea. Fantastic shots at Walk-Ons. 3 Tampa Bay area locations: Wesley Chapel, Midtown Tampa, and Lakeland. If you're looking for a place to go to watch Monday Night Football, do it at Walk-Ons. Or maybe Thursday Night Football or college games on Saturdays, NFL games on Sundays. Score big flavors and even bigger vibes. They've got 2 new plates of nachos for you to choose from. The more classic traditional nachos with the jalapenos or the buffalo chicken nachos. They're phenomenal. Make sure you haven't, if you haven't been to Walk-Ons, make sure you try it this week. Again, Wesley Chapel, Midtown Tampa, and Lakeland.
Spider 2Y Banana. Shout out John Gruden.
Thank you.
Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Says, launch the special teams coach to the moon. Bad in New York, bad here. I have a feeling that this might be Thomas McGahee's last year in Tampa. Yeah, even when the season's done, maybe there's a gigantic shift as the season goes on, but I don't know how much longer he's going to be here.
I agree. I'm with you.
Mopar Buck, thank you for the $19.99 super chat. We appreciate it. Says, Pewter Report, how are y'all feeling after the Egbuka pick? You guys were strongly against the pick, even predicted he'd be returning kicks. I'm just tapping you two on the shoulder now that we clearly see Egbuka is him. Go Bucs.
Well, remember, he was returning kicks in training camp and also in the offseason because the expectation or the hope was that Chris Godwin would be back by the start of the season.
Yeah.
Kind of realized at the start of training camp that he was not on that type of timetable. And of course, Mike Evans was having a fantastic camp. But listen, to Emeka's credit, I mean, we said this, Matt. I think we're in unison here. We were at just about every training camp practice together. Mike Evans had the best training camp of any offensive player in Tampa Bay this year. He was just looked legendary. Caught the ball, got open, scored touchdowns. Emeka Egbuka was clearly the number 2. I mean, the second best player on offense that had the best training camp was Emeka Egbuka. He was that good. Mm-hmm. So, listen, when it came to the draft, we thought maybe Matthew Golden was going to be the pick because they had brought him in for a workout. They had interviewed him at the combine. He was kind of a speed guy that was kind of missing. But listen, when you have a chance to draft Chris Godwin 2.0, and you know what Chris Godwin has meant to this franchise, you don't pass it up. And so it caught us off guard on draft night. No bones about it. Yeah. But we're seeing the genius of that pick. And Matt, you and I saw that really at the rookie minicamp. We're like, wow.
Yeah.
This guy's good. He doesn't drop the ball.
Yeah, he was
It's really good.
fantastic during all of training camp.
Yeah.
I would go back. I think we have the clip on a separate YouTube video, or maybe it's on our Instagram. We put out our reactions to every time the Bucs made a pick. I don't
Yeah.
think we were strongly against it. I
We
think
were
there
more
might have been like,
surprised than anything else.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
surprise. I want to say there was like maybe 2 defensive players where I was like, I would have rather the Bucs went with that over Emeka
Yeah.
Egbuka. But I wouldn't say we were strongly against it. And
Yeah.
then also, let's remember in training camp, we were still under the impression that Jalen McMillan was going
That's
to
right.
be your next guy up after Chris Godwin Jr. when Chris Godwin was still recovering. And then Jalen McMillan got hurt. So Egbuka quickly moved up the ranks, and he's earned it as well.
He's earned it. Yeah.
And how are we feeling? I'm feeling amazing. I bet on him to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. So I'm pumped about it. The better he is, the richer I'll be.
That's right. Yeah.
One
little comment here from Gene Villarreal. I can't believe Todd Bowles did not have the testicular fortitude to go for 2. I don't think that you want to go for 2 there, because I
want him to go for 2. But in my head, I'm going, there's no way the defense is going to stop them.
Right.
Try to have a lead. I mean, they still would have had to go and try to kick the field goal anyway.
The thing is, you can't lose the game there, right? You can't lose the game there, because if you're Tampa Bay, you have a minute left with 3 timeouts, and maybe you get the ball back, but how much time is left? You have no timeouts. They're going to punt the ball. You got to drive all this way. So to me, you couldn't afford to lose the game there. And Seattle was going to get the ball again, and they did, right? So if you get the 2-point conversion, guess what? Seattle still has the ball. They can still march down, kick the field goal, win the game. So I agreed with the decision to not lose the game right there. If you make it, you don't win the game,
right? Because
there's still 3 timeouts with Seattle and a minute left. So I think that was the right call, and I'm sure that he got that relayed to him from Zach Beislein, who probably said the same thing, which is why Todd went for the extra point.
If there was 5 seconds remaining, would you have gone for 2?
I would have gone for 2. Yes.
Okay. All right. That's
for sure.
Because they still would have had to get the field goal anyway. Seattle, whether they were down 1, and then if the Bucs didn't get the point and they're down 1, Seattle's not throwing it; they're just running it. You don't get the David interception.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, Spinks, thanks for the $5 super chat. Says, it's official. Let's switch back to the creamsicle jerseys and wear the white as much as possible. Go Bucs.
They've been exciting in these uniforms for sure. Listen, you know me, I do not like the all-white look with the pewter helmet. I think that's wasted, honestly. Because to me, the Bucs colors now are pewter and red. That's just it. Like, you can look right there. That's the old, like, 1997 logo. It's been modified since then, but those are the colors, red and pewter. White is like an accent. So to me, for those early September games when they want to wear all white, I am all in favor of wearing the 1976 throwback with the white helmet and the white pants and the white jerseys. That looks clean, icy, whatever term you want to use. That to me looks good. If you're going to wear the pewter helmet, wear the pewter pants. That's all I'm saying. I don't like the white on white with the pewter helmet. I think that's dumb. So I'm all in favor of it. Wear these jerseys. You're 2-0 in them. So next September, for those 1, 2, 3 home games in September, wear this look. I'll co-sign that.
As long as they're winning, that's what I want to see. Timothy Fitzgerald, thanks for the $2 super chat. Boomer Baker Clutchfield, 4-4 fourth quarter comeback wins. Yeah, I mean, there was like 3 lead changes, a couple of ties. It was a bananas game, bananas fourth quarter, and Baker Mayfield was at the forefront of it. Another great game by him. And as you mentioned before, bouncing back from that interception from last game, I think was big too. Never put the ball in harm's way. And didn't fumble either.
No.
Paul Morales, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. All things considered, injuries and all, this offense is really good, and it helps when our quarterback is a dog.
Yeah.
He is. He's the ultimate gamer.
He's so much fun to watch, man. Yeah. He just is. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If you're not a Baker Mayfield fan, then you're telling me you're a Falcons, Saints, or Panthers fan. Because
well put.
Even if you're a fan of another team, I mean, even if you're a Seahawks fan, like, you had to come away with a lot of respect for Baker Mayfield.
How could you
today.
not?
Yeah.
How could you not?
If you're an NFC South rival, then I get it. You hate the guy, right?
Yeah. Or Texas Longhorn guy. Like
exactly.
Matt
Yeah.
Loshman, but,
right. Exactly.
Yeah. Marcos, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Says, can we appreciate how this was a roster that had to walk through midweek
Yeah.
because we didn't have enough bodies to
Yeah.
field a practice? Grit. Yeah, absolutely. There were 16 players on Wednesday's injury report. 9 did not participate. And speaking of grit, we haven't talked about him too much, and he didn't have an unreal performance, but I thought Rachaad White had a really gritty performance today.
He did.
Stepping in, he ran the ball hard, had some good runs, important in the screen game, great pass blocker. I was very impressed with Rachaad White. It's not going to be like an all-time game for him, but just did a little of everything. So.
That 12-yard run at the end to get it even closer to field goal range, but more importantly, to pick up that first down to where they could run some more clock, force the Seahawks to burn their last timeout. That was key.
Yeah.
And he had the 2 touchdowns, which, listen, he's got 3 touchdowns. I'm happy for him. He's in a contract year. It all helps out. But the football IQ, Matt, to slide, right, and to not try to get 2 or 3 more yards or whatever where he could have gotten pushed out of bounds. Just smart football player, savvy, team-oriented guy, and saved his best run for the last. I mean, that was his 12-yard run. That was the longest run he had of the day. So great job by Rachaad.
Yeah, absolutely. Evan McCool is a new Pewter Report YouTube channel member. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
We're very happy to have you. Appreciate your support. Chase Rick, thanks for the $5 super chat, says, do we believe that injuries account for the defensive performance in the second half?
So here's the thing. I'm going to give Sam Darnold his due. Okay. Sam Darnold, I'd never followed the guy. I don't know where this game stacks up with ones he had last week or last year in Minnesota, or what he's done in Seattle so far this year. But I'm going to give the guy his due. He was on the money, laser pinpoint passes. And I thought Jacob Parrish actually had a pretty good day in coverage today. It just, the throws were so on the money and the catches were so incredible. And listen, Cooper Kupp, again, please retire. I am so sick and tired of watching you hurt the Buccaneers, right? I mean, you've scarred this fan base, especially with your, go ahead catch for a field goal in that 2021 divisional playoff game. So, seems like you're getting a little old up there, long in the tooth. Retire, please, at any moment in time. But no, just Sam Darnold, his passes were so pinpoint today. Again, as much as we want to praise Baker Mayfield, Baker today was 29 of 33 for 379 yards and 2 touchdowns, 134.7 quarterback rating. Sam Darnold was 28 of 34, 341 yards and a quarterback rating of 135.4. I think I misspoke earlier. I said he had 4 passes that weren't complete. He actually had 6. But again, just razor sharp day from Sam Darnold. I would say that it was more Sam Darnold pinpoint passing than it was necessarily bad performance by the Bucs defensive backs. There were a couple of open receivers we saw, but that was the case for both teams.
Yeah. I mean, Darnold had a ton of time to throw. I think that certainly helped.
It did. Yes.
You can blame the Bucs for that. I don't think Parrish was as bad as everyone said to. I mean, like when he's going up against a tight end, he's going to lose the size battle on kind of like that jump ball type of play. But Parrish always battles. But this is one of the better games Sam Darnold has played. The deep ball to Jackson Smith and Jigba was certainly one.
Yeah.
A couple of guys were wide open on the touchdowns.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, if this is as bad as it gets for the Bucs, like I expect them to rebound. I mean, San Fran next week. we know how Todd Bowles has struggled there. It was ugly. It was ugly by the Bucs defense today. But yeah, Sam Darnold does deserve some credit.
Bucs fans, if you are thinking about having a celebratory round of golf this week, let's say you want to take off early. It's getting to be fall in Tampa, which means it's not 100 degrees anymore. The humidity is leaving us day by day. It's becoming more enjoyable in terms of the weather. So here's the thing. If you haven't tried Heritage Isles Golf and Country Club just yet, well, make sure this is the week that you do that because the weather's lovely outside. Whether it's during the week or maybe on the weekends, make sure that you are checking out Heritage Isles Golf and Country Club. It's probably the best golf course that you haven't tried yet. They've got 4.5 out of 5 stars. They're ranked as the top 3 best value course in Tampa, St. Petersburg by Golf Advisor. That means it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Scenic greens. It's a fantastic course. It's up here like in the new Tampa area. For tee times, give them a call at 813-907-7447. Again, 813-907-7447. Again, rated as the 3 best golf courses, the best business in 2023. They've won tons of awards for golf courses here in the Tampa Bay area, Heritage Isles Golf and Country Club.
Yeah, shout out to them. It's great golfing weather now.
It
Scott Gicker, thank you for the $20 super chat.
Thank
Says
you.
the Bucs are why we need alcohol during games. Defense needs to play better. Glad we won, but man, what an exhausting game. Baker will win us a Super Bowl in the future. Go Bucs.
Yeah.
I think today's performance, again, against a good Seahawks defense.
Yeah.
They have a Super Bowl offense.
Yeah.
They clearly don't have a Super Bowl special teams. And today showed that I don't know if they have a Super Bowl defense just yet.
Yeah. Well,
Bobby
they're
Dean.
finding different ways to win.
Yes,
and I think
which is
that's
good.
important.
And that's
Yes.
most important. That's very, very key.
You got to be a chameleon each week and kind of adapt to your surroundings. And today they needed 38 points. And Josh Hazard, Baker Mayfield, Emeka Egbuka, that offensive line, Rashad White, they all delivered today.
There might be a game this season where the Bucs win 10-3. And we're gonna be like, wow, look at this performance by the Bucs defense. So I think you're right about the chameleon thing. Bobby Dean, thank you for the $4.99 super chat, says, just then Levante is looking too old to
I
be
think it's just when Levante is looking too
just
old.
when.
Yeah.
The whole game. He comes through with a game-winning interception option. Hashtag legend. Yeah, I can't wait for the eventual highlight package of Lavonte David. We'll go, oh, yeah, Levante's last year. He had that interception against Seattle.
Right.
It's likely going to be his last year.
I think it's going to be his last year.
Yeah. But thank you for the super chat. Smitty, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Says a win without, as far as I know, parentheses, any injuries or close parentheses, any injuries. I was thinking that during the game. I didn't say it out loud because I didn't want to ruin it, but I was like, wow, like the Bucs are healthy, like relatively healthy in this game in terms of people not getting hurt. So yeah, kudos.
And there's a chance that Benjamin Morrison or Jamel Dean comes back next week. There's a chance, right? So maybe you get a player or two back. I think Mike is probably still a week out. We'll see. I like Mike coming back for that Lions game, though, Monday night. That feels like it's the case, right? Because they didn't put him in reserve. And when you see that, we saw that with Chris and with Tristan. They didn't put those guys on the PUP to start the season because they'd be out for 4 weeks. And what happened? By week 4, Tristan and Godwin played. And so that's key. And I think that's the same thing with Mike Evans. This is the second game he's missed now. If he doesn't come back for the 49ers game, that's the third week, he would be out. He probably would return for that Lions game on Monday night because otherwise you might as well put him on IR and create the roster space. That would be the 4th game. So I think he comes back. I also think Luke Gedeke comes back for the Lions game. That'll be his first game eligible to return from injured reserve because he'll have missed 4 games. He was walking around this week in the locker room.
Yeah, we've seen him in the locker room. He, again, I'm no doctor, but he seemed to be moving quite well for a guy that has a foot injury. So,
no scooter, no walking boot, no wrap, no brace on the foot.
Just a regular guy. Just
walking around in slides.
Seth Goodfellow is now a YouTube channel member. Thank you for your support. We appreciate you. The Real Maverick, thanks for the $5 super chat, says, how special was the pick by Jason to draft Emeka? What foresight, SR? How do they fix the special teams problem every week? It's something.
I don't know. It's like literally like whack-a-mole. I mean, and Matt, you said it earlier. It's like it's a block field goal. It's a block punt. It's a block field goal. It's a block punt.
Yeah.
It's kickoff returns. It's like trying to end the special teams misery and woes, and you're trying to play that whack-a-mole game that we played as a kid, and it just the bowl keeps popping up. So I don't know. I agree with what Matt said. I think this probably is Thomas McGahee's final year as the special teams coordinator in Tampa Bay. I think you look at resetting that position next year. And again, Matt, it's like on that punt that Riley Dixon, I give him a lot of credit for punting the ball down to the 1 and not having it blocked. But they had 10 guys out there.
I know.
So he put it, 2 times in the game? And like, this is, I mean, that's like Pop Warner stuff, right? Where you're like, or college or high school, where you're like, we needed a guy to come out to block.
Yeah.
They had 10 guys. Like, how does that happen?
Can you imagine if they got the punt blocked and they only had 10 guys? Like, the internet would be wild and Bucs fans would be going crazy. But Yeah, I mean, that was a great
Yeah.
punt. The Bucs didn't capitalize on it
Yeah.
because they allowed
If
it to go
that would have
99 yards
happened,
down the field.
maybe you leave Thomas McGahee in Seattle and just say, find your own way
Right.
home.
Yeah. Hitchhike. I think, there's a lot of hippies out there in Seattle. And probably hitchhike home. Thomas Moore, thank you for the
Yeah.
$9.99 super chat. Says, guys, rough outing for the kickoff team. Run defense struggled all day.
Yep.
Logan Hall's biggest play was his head, not his defense.
Yeah.
The whole unit jet lagged out there.
It's tough sledding because the Seahawks didn't punt, did they, in the second half? Didn't punt at all. So they put together some drives. Remember, that drive, we give Riley Dixon credit for that punt down to the 1. They drove 99 yards for a touchdown on that drive. So the defense was kind of gassed out there. And I think that's part of the reason why Todd Bowles was going for the tie rather than the win, because the Seahawks defense was gassed too.
Right.
The Bucs were doing the exact same thing to them on defense. So this was offenses feeling themselves and like feeling pretty good. And the defense is like, well, we can't get off the field to save our life. These quarterbacks are completing just about every damn pass they're throwing. So yeah, however it happens, man, Logan Hall's helmet is the best part of his game for this week. So be it.
Yeah, I don't think the Bucs are going to have. The Bucs are accustomed to having some blow up performances on the defensive side, and again, having San Fran this week is not easy. But I don't think it's going to be the case where every week it's this bad.
I agree.
I
agree. Yeah.
Even though they struggled, the Bucs still gave a ton of effort. They still wanted to make plays and didn't, and then did. When the opportunity. Like, put it this way, I watched a lot of the Jets Cowboys today. The Jets looked disinterested. They didn't want to tackle. They kind of just gave up on certain plays. They allowed a 25-yard screen to tight end Jake Ferguson for a touchdown, who runs probably a 10-second 40-yard dash. So the Bucs are at least giving effort, which is
exactly,
and it helps when you're a winning football team. So, Seth Goodfellow, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Also, a new Pewter Report YouTube channel member says, "Let's freaking go, Emeka. Was there passing game that good, or were we just struggling without Dean and Morrison? Couldn't make a stop until Levante made that pick."
Again, I'm going to give Sam Darnold some credit. I mean, and listen, the guys he's throwing to are pretty good. I mean, Jackson Smith-Njigba and Cooper Kupp are really good wide receivers. They both have really good hands. So we did see some pretty tight coverage in some instances. I thought Zion actually played decent today. I'd like to see him play better in run defense for sure.
Yeah.
But I thought he was okay. I thought Jacob Parrish was close on a lot of plays. At least he wasn't lost in coverage, didn't blow assignments. And sometimes you see that from rookies, but it didn't really happen today. So I don't know, man. To me, I was a little disheartened by all of the touchdown drives that Sam Darnold was leading the Seahawks on. They weren't getting stops and forcing field goals. That part was a little disheartening.
Yeah.
But Sam Darnold was in the same type of zone that Baker Mayfield was in today.
It was a QB duel.
It was
a QB
really
duel.
Was. Yeah.
It absolutely was. Yeah, I want to see how the Bucs defense responds.
Yeah.
Because other people were making the point that the defense has been pretty good up until this game, but they were awful today. They were absolutely awful. But I can't sit here for the rest of the season and be like, well, they're terrible and they're going to allow 40 points per game.
Yeah.
So that's just not the case either. Mopar Buck with another $19.99 super chat. Thank you very, very much. Says, is the reports true, Bucky, with the shoulder injury? There's reports automatically ruling him out against the Niners.
I think that's the case because the shoulder injury is actually worse than the foot, from what we've been told. And listen, this is a long season, and you can't afford to have that shoulder injury go from bad to worse. And remember, when Bucky Irving injured his hip against Carolina, he still played through it. He still won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week at Carolina, 152 yards on the ground, plus a touchdown or two, whatever he had. But then he tried to go the next week against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yep.
I want to say he had 3 carries for 4 yards, something like that.
Yeah, he was out very early in the game.
And then they had to turn it over to Rashad. So to me, in my opinion, you rest him up. There are still, 12 games left in the season? 12. Yeah. We're only 5 games in. You need Bucky Irving, the best version of Bucky Irving, for the long haul. You can't afford to have him play through an injured shoulder, take another hit, and then all of a sudden that joint just collapses.
Right.
And, and then he's out for, not just a game or two, but a month or two. You can't have that. You need him for the long haul. To me, this team is okay with Rachaad White and Sean Tucker. Disappointed in Sean Tucker today a little bit. I know it was tough sledding.
Yeah.
Seahawks run defense is good, but I was hoping and kind of expecting to see at least one kind of breakaway run from Sean, and just didn't see it today.
Yeah, wasn't able to. And when you're 4-1, you have the luxury of you can kind of sit out Bucky Irving a little bit more because you're not desperate to bring him back because it's all or nothing with this next game, which is, super important. And not the best game for Sean Tucker. Looked kind of slow too. Like he got caught from behind.
Yeah.
Looked
a little hesitant.
Slow. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe the jet lag got to him because the Bucs flew on Saturday. But could see it bounce back. Josh Williams got a little time as well. Was the main kick returner. I think he got in on one snap. They did a little pony package where it was Rachaad White and Josh Williams, not Sean Tucker. So that was interesting. Bucs Basement, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, this win is because of the offense and Levante with his clutch play. Todd Bowles called a horrible second half. I would still fire the special teams coach.
Again, was it Todd Bowles' calls, or was it just Sam Darnold was in his zone today, folks? I mean, sometimes you got to tip the hat to the other team and the other guy. You could say the same thing about Seattle's defense, right? I mean, was Mike McDonald just calling the wrong plays on defense that they give up 38 points in Seattle? I don't know. Baker Mayfield was unstoppable today from the first drive on. He was unstoppable. So, again, sometimes you have to give credit to the other team. And in this case, it was Sam Darnold. I thought he was really well. Trust me, I think Todd Bowles was trying to stop him, slow him down. But some of those passes, man, you go back and look, they were pinpoint accuracy passes with defenders in very close proximity, and Darnold was just having a day.
I would have liked for more pressure to be generated, and I think Bowles could have played a hand in that with dialing up more blitzes. Now, he called it at the right time, and it forced the interception.
For sure.
But I think that can fall on Bowles where there should be fair.
And Matt, I think the reason why he didn't, because you have Kendall Vildor.
Yes, that's definitely a factor into it. Where
didn't want to leave those guys high and dry.
If you have Dean or Morrison, then I think maybe you blitz a little bit more. Still not an excuse for the 35 points, but that's likely the thought process. Logan Valenti has now been a YouTube channel member for an entire year, 12 months.
Thank you.
Appreciate your support. Says, need Dean/Ben back ASAP. Too soft of coverage. Yeah, there were some flashbacks to last season with the soft coverage, but as we kind of just mentioned with Kendall Vildor, it makes sense.
Hey, hold on a second. Jamel Dean, they want you back.
Yeah.
Jamel Dean, they miss you, man. You turn the corner, Jamel. Like, you're missed. They want you back.
Yeah.
So, congrats on a hot start to the season, Jamel. Hopefully that hip feels better soon.
Yeah, I mean, there's that saying in The Dark Knight, you either die a hero or you live long enough to be the villain. Right. He's done a complete career arc. He's back to the hero. He went from hero to villain. Now he's the hero again. I
know. Well said.
KGH for life. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Says special teams coach must go. Many fans feel this way. We hear you loud and clear.
Mm-hmm.
People are not fans of Thomas McGahee. I get it. I mean, he deserves a lot of scrutiny along with the players too. But when we see how it's gone, it's got to fall on someone. It's falling on him. Mr. King, thank you for the $2 super chat. Says week 15 might be the game to decide this division.
It might, but here's the thing. Bucs are 4-1 right now. They're still ahead of the Falcons who had the bye week, right? So, I mean, wouldn't it be something to see the Buccaneers literally go wire to wire as NFC South champs and just maintain that pole position the entire season? That would be fantastic for this team. And that's really a goal. That's one thing Todd Bowles said at the NFL annual meeting. Todd was sitting there with us, Matt, and you know, he says, we need a killer instinct. We need to not win the division like in week 17 and week 18 anymore. We need to win it earlier in the year and get it out of the way. So that's the goal.
As you mentioned, the Falcons had a bye, but it was a clean sweep otherwise for the NFC South. The Bucs got a big win. Saints got their first win of the season.
The Fighting Dave Canales.
Yeah, the Fighting Dave Canales.
17 down.
Beat the Miami Dolphins. So, that was an ugly game. Dubs, thanks for the $9.99 super chat. Says, I loved how the Bucs are winning these games, but I can't help but think about the 2022 Vikings, who won all those one-score games and went 13-4, but lost to the Giants in the wild card.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying, and I get it. But I think this game was probably the most important in terms of Seattle's a good team. It was on the road. You didn't have anything going. It was essentially the Bucs offense against the world today.
That's
because
right.
Special teams wasn't helping, and the defense couldn't get a stop. So I think these types of wins will go big. I hear what you're saying about that comparison to the Vikings, but to me, the Bucs are not fraudulent the way those Vikings teams were.
Yeah, I agree.
Matt Loshman, thanks for the $10 super chat. Tough loss for your Longhorns yesterday in Gainesville. Says Emeka Egbuka, first wide receiver in NFL history. Yeah, the Bucs tweeted this out not too long ago with 25 plus catches and 5 plus touchdowns in his first 5 games. Now that's impressive. Yeah. For me, this big win makes up for the Longhorns laying an egg in Gainesville. LOL.
For sure. I mean, he's like, how many times do we have to say it? He's the best rookie wide receiver in franchise history, and that says something. When the best receiver is Mike Evans and the second best is Chris Godwin. But the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. It's the truth.
Megatron.
Megatron.
Cruz on the rate. And it's also like the impact of it. They're not like garbage time stats. He's scoring game-winning and go-ahead touchdowns on 3rd and 15s and stuff like that.
Yep.
Cruz on the radio. Thanks for the $1.99 super chat. Undefeated in our 76 throwbacks. What a game. Yes, what a game it was. And those jerseys look better when they're winning.
That's right.
They look a lot
Something
better
about
when they're
that.
winning. Ray Buck Bolts, thanks for the $1.99 super chat. We appreciate you. Bulum Seba, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Says, happy we won. What a game. But you can't expect to beat the 49ers playing with the loose defense. We need to improve a lot defensively in pressure and coverage.
What I've learned, a lot of the times the NFL is a microcosm. It's each week is its own animal, and there's very little carryover from week to week to week in certain areas. Now, injuries can bankrupt you at certain positions to where there is carryover, like negative, or if you get everybody back, it can be a positive. But I don't know. I'm not expecting the Bucs to give up 35 points on defense to the 49ers next week, and nor do I necessarily expect the offense to score 38 either. We'll see, but I like the Bucs' chances. And I even said this in picking the Bucs to lose this week. I like Tampa Bay's chances of beating San Francisco next week at Raymond James Stadium. It is time. It is time for Todd Bowles to get the W over Kyle Shanahan. They've been close, and it's time. And there's a lot of Buccaneer players who are sick and tired of losing to the 49ers. 2 years in a row, 22 and 23 out there in San Fran. Last year here at home. So,
I mean, they had never won in the throwback uniforms. Now they've won in the uniforms. Might as well just beat the 49ers now after never beating the 49ers.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I just got to say this too. I've been texting with a lot of people today and tonight. So we talked about Liam Cohen saying Baker MVP, and he's super excited for the Buccaneers. Just got a text from Dave Canales too, who got a win today. And I texted him earlier about the huge win, and he says, go Bucs too. Great teams find a way. So it's cool to see these guys that got their start here in Tampa. Even Dave, who's got to try to beat the Buccaneers, this year. Still cares about him. Still cares about Baker and Todd Bowles and all that. So it's just great, man. This culture is so good in Tampa. It just expands. Even when you're here for a minute, like Dave and Liam were, when they go their separate ways and stuff, they still have that heartbeat for Tampa. And it's cool to see. It really is.
For sure. No doubt about it. Now, hopefully Josh Grisar can stay for more than a year.
Yeah.
Especially if he's going to call games like he did today.
Yeah.
Catbuck88, thank you for this $20 super chat.
Thank you, Cat. Appreciate it.
Says, thank you so much. Says, I freaking love this team. Thanks for all the great coverage. You guys are the best. Go Bucs. Thank you, Cat.
Thank you, Cat.
Nice
That's
of you.
very
We
cool.
appreciate the
Very
kind
cool.
words.
Yeah.
And these podcasts are even more fun to do when the team wins. So
for sure.
We're very excited that all of you are happy about the win. We're excited about Casey Cranford becoming a Pewter Report YouTube channel member. Thank you so much for your support.
Big time. Appreciate it. Thank you, Casey.
Lee Sanders, thanks for the $10 super chat, says, I'm late to the party, so maybe it's been said, but is Emeka Egbuka the best wide receiver in the league? Is Mike somehow wide receiver 2 now?
Well, Mike might be wide receiver 2 in terms of production, because when Mike comes back, I mean, he's still Mike. He's going to get attention.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, as great as Emeka is, if you're a defensive coordinator and you're planning, it's like, hey, there's the hot rookie. And then I don't know, there's the 6'5" Hall of Famer too. You know what I'm saying? You still have to give Mike Evans his just due and his respect. And you can't just say, well, we've got to shut down this number 2. We've got to stop Emeka Egbuka, and we'll let Mike get his. No, you can't let Mike get his, because Mike at age 32, we saw what he did coming back from the hamstring last year. He went on a tear.
He did.
Down the stretch. So you cannot sleep on Mike. So I believe when Mike gets back, it's going to make things even better for Emeka Egbuka, because he's not going to have as much coverage, because you're still going to have to on the to-do list, when you're the defensive coordinator, you're going to have to look at it and say, all right, number 1, pressure Baker Mayfield. Number 2, stop Tampa Bay's running game. But in the air, number 3, stop Mike Evans somehow, some way. Emeka Egbuka might be 4. He's in the top 5, but it's going to be in that order. And it's going to be even more fun when Mike gets back, because this is going to be an outstanding group with Mike and Chris.
Right.
And
McMillan eventually down the road.
McMillan eventually, yeah.
Bucky Irving on a screen, Todd White on a screen. I get why defensive coordinators lose sleep going against the Bucs.
I agree.
By the way, probably Puka Nacua is the best receiver in the league right now. Yeah. Not all these stats are updated, but because Puka played on Thursday, he's at 588 yards already. Before this game, Emeka Egbuka was 13th in the league with 282 yards. Now he's definitely going to shoot all the way up. So he'll be within the top 10 when it's all said and done. So, he's up there for sure. Yeah. Robert Baker, thank you for becoming a Pewter Report YouTube channel member. And Lee Sanders, thank you as well for becoming a Pewter Report YouTube channel member. We appreciate you.
I'll say this. We've had a lot of new members become channel members tonight. We greatly appreciate that. This probably is a good time for me just to let you know, if you're seeing people become new members, what is it? What is a channel member? Well, here's what it is. You can show your support for Pewter Report by becoming a YouTube channel member. We ask that you hit subscribe on our Pewter Report TV YouTube channel. That's the way that you can help us. We're on the way to 22,000 subscribers. It's free. Hit the subscribe button. Also, hit notifications whenever we come out with the Pewter Report podcast after the game, because they're at different times, or whether I come out with the Pewter Pulse video, Matt comes out with his Pewter Picks and Props, Adam Slaban with his top 10 takeaways, whatever. Whenever we come out with a new video for you to watch on YouTube, you'll get notifications. But with the channel membership, what that is it's a monthly membership from $3.99 to $24.99. There's different perks and advantages at different levels, but you can hit the join button on Pewter Report TV, and it'll pull up basically the screen here that gives you a breakdown of all of the different perks that you can get by becoming a Pewter Report TV channel member. Find the membership level that supports your budget the best, and we appreciate the help. What we do with our YouTube money is our travel budget. We go to the Combine in Indianapolis. We go to the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. We go to the NFL annual meeting, whether it's in Florida or Arizona. We go to away games. We sent Matt and Adam to Pittsburgh for the joint practices this year. So that's what it does. That's how you can help support us, by becoming a Pewter Report TV channel member, whether it's a Pewter People, Pewter Pro, Pewter Premier, or Pewter Platinum. I will say the Pewter Premier and Pewter Platinum members, they do get that extra bonus podcast that Matt and I do every Friday at 1:30 called the Pewter Insider, where you're going to get the freshest injury news about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right as Matt essentially leaves Friday practice after talking to Todd Bowles, plus some extra scoop and insight that we're not going to give you during the week. So it's a great bonus podcast. If you love the Pewter Report podcast, you're going to love the Pewter Insider, Fridays at 1:30.
And we answer every single question and comment.
That's right.
We appreciate everyone watching the show. We can't get to every single comment, which is why we, get to all the super chats and stuff. But Pewter Insider with our Platinum and Premier members, we answer every single question and comment. So, but definitely would recommend.
John V says 800 people in the chat. Get them likes too. Yes, please like our videos, leave comments, give us your thoughts after the podcast on our Pewter Report TV YouTube channel. The more likes and comments we get, the more our videos get put out there in the YouTube algorithm to be seen by other Bucs fans.
Wellesley with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you very much. We'll get back to you in just a second. TJ Smith, thank you for this $1.99 super chat. Says officials were awful today. Go Bucs. I don't think they were as bad as previous games
the last 2
Bucs
weeks.
have been in.
I agree.
But I will say I hated the penalty they called on Zion McCollum on the interception. That was BS. I also didn't like the roughing the passer call that they had on Tampa Bay either. I did not think those were good calls.
Yep.
Wellesley with a $1.99 super chat with a comment. Thank you very much. Says, let's see the Bucs win the NFC, not just the South. Yeah, the Bucs are tied with the number 1 seed. Now, obviously, they wouldn't have the tiebreaker because they lost to the Eagles, but the Eagles lost today. Yeah. And they'll have another big tiebreaker situation next week with the 49ers, who I believe are also 4-1.
Yep.
And, of course, they'll play the Rams later on the schedule this year. That's another tie-breaking kind of matchup, too.
Yeah, for sure. I saw another comment here. Let's see here. Where was it? Oh, yeah. Jalen McMillan. I saw it, and I was going to put it up. But so anyways, I'll answer. Yeah, there we go. Sky High Gaming. Yes, Jalen McMillan. We said this on Friday on our Pewter Insider video. What we're hearing is December. So after the bye week, but because the bye week is in week 9, maybe not in November, but certainly by December, that's when the target date is. Now, is it first week of December, or is it more like that week 15?
Or is it a Christmas present? No.
Yeah, or is it a Christmas present? Yeah. December is what we're hearing for Jalen McMillan. And of course, that depends. We're just in October right now. So maybe he makes some more progress. And that is something that maybe he sneaks into the latter part of November. But that's what the team is operating under right now, is the December return for Jalen McMillan. And it just makes this receiving core even more dangerous. It's nuts.
Yeah, because in ways, Jalen McMillan has been their big play guy. He had a ton of big touchdowns at the end of last season. And Mike certainly gets a lot of attention. And Chris Godwin Jr. is more of that underneath slot type of guy. Now, obviously, Emeka Egbuka has taken the league by storm, but Jalen McMillan is still very important to this group.
Yeah, for sure.
Whenever he's able to come back. Adrian McCaskill, thank you for this $4.99 super chat. Says, I think the team has matured.
Yes.
Last year, we probably lost this game.
Yeah, the Bucs are doing enough to win the game on defense and enough to win the game on offense, and that's all you want is they're finding a way to play complementary football at the right time. It is at the end of games. I think Todd Bowles would love to get back to some of those blowouts last year. Remember the Giants game? Anybody? Remember the Chargers game? Remember the Saints game where you just kind of like you press the beat down button in the second half and you just take control and you just win the game in blowout fashion. I think there's a chance the Buccaneers get to that. Remember, those games I'm talking about didn't happen until, like, what was the Saints game? Week 6, Matt? So we're kind of coming up on that. But the Giants game and the Chargers game and even the Panthers game, Dave Canales played a close game at Carolina. The one down here in Tampa was a blowout. So I think there are some of those in store for the Buccaneers later this year. That's kind of when they happened last year. They're going to have to kind of return to health. Maybe when Luke Gedeke gets back, right? Then you've got 4 out of 5 offensive linemen starting together, and you have more continuity at that point in time. Maybe it's Mike and Chris and Emeka, getting those 3 guys for games to play with each other. They're coming, but I agree with that. I agree with Adrian. These are games that didn't go the Bucs' way last year, especially in prime time.
This team last year, they lose in prime time. They don't get to overtime. They lose on a Seahawks game-winning field goal. This year, as crappy as the defense was, they make a play late and they win the game in regulation. Didn't even have to go to overtime.
That's right.
Tall Florida guy, thank you for becoming a Pewter Report YouTube channel member. We appreciate you. And Tone Slice 989, thanks for the $2 super chat, says Baker is our generation's Brett Favre.
That's true.
Hopefully just on the field.
Yeah.
True baller. Yeah, I mean, you don't want as many interceptions as Brett Favre had,
right.
But Baker still got that gunslinger in him a little bit. And Brett Favre was one of his favorite players when Brett Favre played.
That's right.
So
yeah,
I see the comparison for sure. Yeah. And I agree with Vintage Fly here.
Yes.
Says, I'm glad Baker is sliding. He's finally learning to protect himself a little bit.
I know. For sure. No, that's a great point. I'm glad you pointed that out, Matt, because I was going to bring that up too. It's good to see Baker protect himself, because without him, they are not 4-1. Without him, they have a losing record. I mean, he has been the trigger man at the heart of these comebacks, and this team has so much confidence in him. He has so much confidence in himself. As Todd Bowles said after the game, they rep the 2-minute drill all the time, like ad nauseum. And Matt, we're out there at the OTAs and the mini camp. They start this back in the flag football season in the spring. They do it a ton in training camp, and then they rep it every single week. So this is just, it's old hat for these guys, and it looks like it because they just execute almost flawlessly out there.
Brian J., thank you for this $4.99 super chat. Says, our pass rushers and linebackers are not getting it done. I'm done with Yaya and Sebastian Dennis. Godwin doesn't look good, but what a win. Baker's the man. And then says, and our rookies, probably going to say our rookies look great because they have been great.
Johnson,
certainly their first round pick.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Last year when we do the game day, the pregame show in the morning, and we would do the matchups, when it was Yaya Diaby against anyone, I said, I'm taking the offensive tackle because Yaya's got to prove it. We're in that same boat once again. Yaya's got to prove it.
I'm with you. He's got to step up and really make some plays. I did see a comment that I didn't get to earlier that I wanted to address. I'm glad that King Cook brought this up. Rachaad White playing like this, and he will get the bag. I'll say this. I think there's a chance the Buccaneers put a favorable contract out there for Rachaad White. It's not like they're just going to cast him off into free agency and just say, hey, good luck, whatever. They may not, if depending on Rashaad's numbers, and really this is a production league, right? It's coaches talk about the process all the time, but when you come to free agency, it's the production that matters, right? What did you produce? What type of player are you? Are you a 1,000-yard back? Are you a 500-yard back? Are you a 450-yard back? What do your numbers look like? I think with Rachaad White, there's so much value this team has on as a pass protector, as a good teammate. He and Bucky Irving are like this. They're
jumping
like,
on that fumble in Houston.
Yes. They're like best friends. He is such a team-oriented guy. He will be the perfect role player. And Matt, the more this team wins, the more he may not want to leave.
Right.
You want to go chase the bag and be number one on a team that is losers and that may not make a playoff push. But guess what? If you're the lead back on a team that's going to be losing, you're not going to be getting carries. You're going to be pass protecting a lot.
Yeah.
Do you want to stay around Tampa and maybe get a ring and be a part of a winning culture while also making some money? Maybe not the upper end money you might make somewhere else with a better opportunity, but I don't know. We'll see how the season plays out. It's very early, but I suspect we will see the Buccaneers make Rachaad White an offer. They value him an awful lot. And as we've seen, Bucky Irving, smaller guy, you need a good number two. You need a starter.
Across the league. Yeah.
You need a starter for when he's not able to play.
Yeah, we know with Rachaad White, you can plug and play him any week. Situation will dictate it. If there's a good playoff team or a team on the rise or on the come up that needs an RB1, if I'm Rachaad White, I'm probably going there. But we gotta let it all play out.
Yeah,
Eric Moreno has become a Pewter Report YouTube channel member. Thank you so much,
Eric. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You all came loud and proud tonight. We greatly appreciate all the support, all the great comments. We're going to do it again tomorrow. We're going to talk more about this game. We'll have the opportunity to talk to Todd Bowles, find that if there were any injuries in this game we don't know about. We do know Josh Williams was evaluated for a concussion. He did return to the game. That's a good sign. The Bucs didn't let us know of any other in-game injuries. That's a good sign. Sometimes they pop up, like Bucky Irving's shoulder injury, which he didn't even tell the team about until Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but we'll have Todd Bowles speak tomorrow, and then we'll have the 4:00 podcast. It'll be a Victory Monday podcast, so make sure that you're here for that. We do roll call at 4:20, so whether you're international, if you are around the country, or in the state of Florida, we want you here at 4:00 for our Pewter Report Victory Monday podcast here on Pewter Report TV. Also, it streams live on X and Facebook at Pewter Report.
That's right. So in the meantime, if you're not already doing so, please make sure you're following us on all of our social media on X, Facebook, and Instagram. We are at Pewter Report. And our YouTube channel is Pewter Report TV. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment on this video as well. How you're feeling after the Bucs chaotic but fun 38-35 win to get them to 4-1 on the season. That's going to do it for us tonight. For Scott Reynolds, I'm Matt Matera saying thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for another edition of the Pewter Report podcast. Out.